His divine grace, Lacey, bhakti-Vedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON Ljubljana, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Dhanam Vishnupada, Brahmam Saprapadacharya, Asadhara Shri Shriman, His divine grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Sri ISKCON ki jai. Shri Rup Sanatana Madhuragana, Shri Viva Vilajas Shad Goswami Guru ki jai. Premjalo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Pranityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan ki jai. Mathuradam ki jai. Vrindavani ki jai. Mayapur Dham ki jai, Navadvip Dham ki jai, Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai, Ayodhya Dham ki jai, ISKCON Ljubljana ki jai, Gangamai ki jai, Jubanmai ki jai, Srimati Bhakti Devi ki jai, Srimati Tulsi Devi ki jai, Shri Panchatattva ki jai, Shri Gauri Thai ki jai, Gaur Pramanande, Haribo, Slava Zavrani Bhakti, Slava Zavrani Bhakti, Slava Zavrani Bhakti, Slava Shri Guru Shri Grangi.
Are you a horse?
Sorry?
Does he play horse with you?
Is he playing what?
Horse.
Of course, yeah. Also, yes.
Probably horse in Slovene is kon.
Corn, yes.
Igrajet kon.
Hare Krishna.
His Divine Grace, Khaleesi, bhakti-joga, Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande, Obozevanje Boga, Shri Guru, Shri Grangi. Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Vrindavani Pastimes, Swami Namane. Namaste, Saraswati Deve, Gauravani Krishna, Nirvishesha, Shunyavadi, Bhakti-yoga, Siddhartha. Om Anand Salakaya Tatsuramulitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sabitam Yena Bhutlai Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuddha Parakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sabaitam Savadutam Rijna Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Madam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Zitam Shah Hey Krishna Karna Sindhu Dinavando Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavani Shri Vrishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakapa Trivishya Kripa Sindhu Vivaka Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Pranityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 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 Srimad-bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 5, the meeting of Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva, text number
18, I believe, is up.
Tato Tata Arabhya Nanda
Raja Sarva Samvrijanam Hare Niva Shatma Kunai Ramakrishnam Abun Nripa Taravyanandasya Raja Sarva Samriddhiman Hare Niva Satma Gunai Rama Kridam Abunripa Ladies.
Raja Sarva Samriddhiman Hare Nivasatma Gunai Ramakridama Bunnipa
Tata Arabhya. Beginning from that time. Nandasya Amaraj Nanda Raja Rajabhumi, the land for protecting and breeding cows. Sarva Samriddhiman, became opulent with all kinds of riches. Hare Nivasa, of the residence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Atma Gunai, of the transcendental qualities. Rama Akridam, place of pastimes of the goddess of fortune. Abud, became. Ripa, O King Maharaj Parikshit. Translation for a book by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Yes, that's right. Yes. O Maharaj Parikshit, the home of Nanda Maharaj, is eternally devoted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and its transcendental qualities. It is therefore always naturally endowed with the opulence of all wealth. It beginning from Lord Krishna's appearance there, it became the place for the pastimes of the goddess of fortune. Purport, as stated in the Brahma Samhita 529, Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Brahma Sevyamanam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. The abode of Krishna is always served by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune. Wherever Krishna goes, the goddess of fortune naturally resides with him. The chief of the goddesses of fortune, Srimati Radharani. Therefore, Krishna's appearance in the land of Braja indicated that the chief goddess of fortune, Radharani, would also appear there very soon. Nanda Maharaj's abode was already opulent, and since Krishna had appeared, it would be opulent in all respects. O Maharaj Parikshit, the home of Nanda Maharaj is eternally devoted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and its transcendental qualities, and therefore always naturally endowed with the opulence of all wealth. At beginning from Lord Krishna's appearance there, became the place for the pastimes of the goddess of fortune. Namo Vishnu Vraya Krishna Prasad Vidai, Srimati Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Tinamane, Namaste Saraswati Deve, Kauravani Vicharane, Nirvishesha Srinivadi, Paskyatyade Siddharne. There's descriptions of the abode of Krishna, and where Krishna eternally herds cows. Now, in modern society, people don't consider herding cows a very noble occupation. As a matter of fact, if they hear the description, the Brahma Samhita of Krishna's abode, they think is rather primitive. Because they don't actually understand what real opulence is. People have become, of course, real opulence is Sat Chitananda Vigraha, bliss, knowledge, and eternity. Knowledge being the capacity to experience happiness. The more we expand our capacity to experience happiness, then the more we're advanced. And the more we actually experience real happiness, the more we advance. Now people have misplaced their idea of what happiness is to simply eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. And since there's really only limited happiness and temporary, no matter how much we eat or sleep or mate or defend, I doubt any one of us can say that last night I slept so well I was in ecstasy when I woke up. That my seeker or my hair was standing on end when I woke up because I was so blissful. Or eating. It doesn't, the prasadam may be very nice, but every time we take a bite and remember it, it doesn't taste this, we don't experience the same taste just by remembering it. And if we eat, as we go on eating, and gradually our ability to taste decreases. Matter of fact, probably the time when we enjoy prasadam the most is after a fast day. Then the separation makes our heart much fonder. On Janmashtami, most devotees are not looking forward to Krishna's appearance. They're looking forward to the appearance of prasadam on their plate. And when we take prasadam at night, on Janmashtami night, after fasting for the whole day, it's probably the closest we come to honoring prasadam for the whole year. We appreciate it much more than we ordinarily do. Similarly, mating defending has its limits, especially in the human form of life. Although nowadays, people are thinking they're advanced because they're able to they've increased their technology. And by technology, they're able to create even more illusions than we're already under. Just like they have these movies, they spend $2 billion on the movie. And in the movie, there's so many technological wonders going on. People are flying in the sky, they're creating universes, whatever. But they can't convey the feeling to anyone. The hero may be eating fantastic food, but can you taste it when you're watching the movie? It's just some light flashing through the screen, and they're willing to spend billions of dollars on that, billions of euros, just to create another illusion. As if we're not in enough illusion already, we have to create a bigger illusion, a more attractive illusion. So here we find that Krishna's abode is the abode of the goddess of fortune. So what does that mean? It means that everything there is blissful. But you don't need a computer to be blissful. But you can't smell the computer. I don't think they've made a computer so far. It smells like a lotus flower. You open it up and you type into it, lotus flower. From the computer comes a lotus and a flower that smells like a lotus flower, or gardenias or whatever else. No, it's just some light flashing on a screen, and we're trying to be happy watching it. But in Vrindavan, everything is the same nature as spiritual pleasure. Shriya Kanta Kanta Parama Purusha Kalpatarava. Druma Bhumis Chintamani Gayam Tam Amritam. Then in Vrindavan, Shriya Kanta Kanta Karma Purusha Kalpataruva. In Vrindavan there's one main lover, Krishna, and he has unlimited love for all living entities. And therefore he's all attractive, not only because he has personal beauty and all other opulences, but his most attractive feature is that he loves everyone and he's affectionate towards everyone. And naturally he invokes everyone else's affection and love also. In Vrindavan, Krishna is not the king, he's just a regular cowherd boy. So what could be better in order to have an intimate relationship? You can go to Vaikuntha, and there Krishna is the king, sitting on a throne with 4 arms, controlling everything. But how intimately can you become with the king? But just an ordinary cowherd boy. There's no prestige in being a cowherd boy. But he's the most beautiful cowherd boy. And he's the most loving cowherd boy. He loves everyone, and he makes everyone happy. That's his whole business. He doesn't do anything else except to try to make people happy. And he has unlimited powers to do so. So what would be more enjoyable? Live on this planet under the present government, where you can elect one politician or the other, so you can decide which pocket he's going to pick. One politician promises to pick one of your pockets, and the other politician promises to pick the other one. And that's called democracy. Choosing who's going to exploit you and lie to you. Or do we want to choose Krishna as our leader? And the abode of Vrindavan, where the flowers actually have a smell. If you take a garland, you have to try and figure out what if you close your eyes nowadays and you try to smell the flower, it's very difficult to know what flower it is, because they all smell the same. They don't have any smell. But in Vrindavan, all the flowers are alive, and they're all full of love for Krishna and his devotees. And that love is experienced. The water is alive, the air is alive, everything's alive with bliss and pleasure, trying to please everyone. Everyone is just simply there to please everyone else, giving their love to everyone. So what could be a better place to go? Here the only love is in some kind of magazine, or in the movies where everyone lives happily ever after. But if you look at them now, they don't look like they're happy. In the movie, they were all smiling, they rode off into the sunset. But if you look at them now, they look like they're almost in the sunset. But in the spiritual world, everyone is simply eternally trying to please Krishna, and by pleasing Krishna, trying to please Krishna, one also naturally tries to please all of Krishna's devotees. And everyone there is a devotee, because Krishna is most pleased when his devotees are pleased. Therefore, Shriya Kanta Kanta Parama Purusha Kalpataruva. And there's trees there, but they give whatever you want. Whatever you desire, they fulfill your desires. They're wish-fulfilling trees. The 6 Goswamis, when they were here, they used to sleep under a different tree every night. But they were Kalpavriksha trees. So whatever the Goswamis desired, they fulfilled the trees fulfilled their desires. Because they didn't desire a computer, they didn't desire a car, they just desired some little offering to please Krishna. And even a little offering to please Krishna, if it's imbued with love, then Krishna is pleased by it. Everything takes on the same quality as our consciousness. So we offer something to someone, what we're offering them, the consciousness in which we're offering them, that object becomes imbued with that consciousness. And ultimately what's really pleasing is the consciousness in which things are offered. Therefore there's no need for elaborate offerings in the spiritual world. They offer ghee and milk and yogurt, but these are infused with the love, not only the devotee who's offering it, but also the cows that are that are producing the milk. They're producing milk simply out of love for Krishna. And therefore the milk is imbued with transcendental love, and the devotees further infuse it with transcendental love because they're offering to Krishna. The cooking, those who cook, Mother Yasoda, Rahini, the gopis, they even put more love into the preparations. And the devotees who are serving it, like Rohini and her assistants, they even put more love into it. So the food there is simply imbued with love. It's made out of bliss, and it's infused with all the love of the people who are dealing with it. Therefore it's always ever new and fresh, everything they eat. Because the devotees are always increasing their love. Therefore the air is always increasing in its bliss. The ground is increasing, everything is becoming more and more blissful and loving. And here we just talk about it. Therefore when it says Krishna appeared in the land of Vrindavan and that Srimati Radharani is going to come, Srimati Radharani is made out of pure pleasure, loving pleasure. Her varieties of loving ecstasy for Krishna are simply different varieties of pleasure. So what would be a better place to go to? Where do we want to go to next? We want to come back to Ljubljana. We may in next lifetime be born in Hawaii, surf the waves. Or do we want to go to Goloka Vrindavan? That's our choice. And before we go to Goloka Vrindavan, of course, then there is we join Krishna in one of his pastimes, in one of the planets where he's having his pastimes. And this is explaining about Gokula Vrindavan, where Krishna appears and carries on his pastimes such as being exchanged for Yoga Maya and killing Putana, dancing with the gopis. In every universe, and there are unlimited universes, Krishna appears and displays his pastimes, and the devotee, after he leaves his body, if he's qualified, if he's at least on the platform of bhava, then he's eligible to go and join in one of those pastimes and become trained up so he can eventually go to the spiritual world, Goloka Vrindavan, and spend eternity simply increasing one's unlimitedly one's pleasure and happiness and love for Krishna and his devotees. So in order to do that, we have to practice here. In order to practice here, we're practicing here because we have to believe that there's a goal. And there's the means to get to that goal. And it's up to us to understand, to appreciate what that goal is, and to understand what is our means to get to that goal. And as we get to that goal, just like as we approach fire, then as one approaches fire, it gets hotter and hotter and hotter, and then one is actually in the fire. So it is not, we're simply waiting for the time of death, and then we'll understand. Don't put your finger in your mouth. Mataji, don't put your finger in your mouth. Then it's not that we're waiting and waiting, and then finally, then we become Krishna conscious. No, it's a gradual process that even in this lifetime we have to feel that we're actually experiencing Krishna consciousness more steadily and more intensely, day after day. Otherwise, Krishna consciousness will become just as boring as everything else in the material world after some time. How many times can people go and watch a movie? Even if they're completely absorbed in it, there's a limited number of times. No one will live in a movie theater just watching the same movie over and over again. But that's the material world. It's the same story over and over again. Boy meets girl, they fall in love. Boy meets other girl meets other boy, they fall in love. Or a boy meets other girl, and the first girl gets very disturbed, kills the girl. One boy meets girl, and they fall in love. Girl meets other boy kills the other boy. The same thing over and over again, just a perverted reflection of Radha and Krishna's pastimes in the spiritual world. Flowers are here, the air is here, there used to be cows even here. but they're just reflections of the real world. But if we utilize this world that we're in now, in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's service, because we can't use it in Krishna's pastimes right now, but there's no difference between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes and Radha and Krishna's pastimes, because they're the same persons. Therefore, if we engage in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes by telling others about Krishna and following the principles by which we can experience Krishna, and then telling people how nice it is to experience Krishna, then the result is that we will be in the spiritual world even in this lifetime, eventually. And then we'll know exactly what we're here for and what everyone else is here for. And we can try to encourage people, everyone else, to try, everyone we meet, anyone we can, to actually do what they're supposed to do, to actually get what they're looking for, namely real happiness that goes on forever. So here we'll hear about Krishna's land of Vrindavan, but we shouldn't just think these are just stories meant to tell little children before they go to sleep, because they're so unusual, and they're so quaint and primitive, that who could really take them very seriously? No, we should try to appreciate this is the real world, this is the real existence, that we should actually appreciate at least. We may not be able to live on a farm right now and take care of cows. We wouldn't even know how to do it. We'd spend our time in the farmhouse on Facebook telling people what it's like to be in this farm. Still, we should try to appreciate it, and we should try to utilize whatever energies we have, and utilize them in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's service according to actual instructions. We shouldn't think that these instructions are secondary either, that everyone has their duty to perform, and we should take it very seriously, that this duty was not given to us by some temple commander or some devotee asked me to do something. No, this is actually Krishna asking us to do something for him. And we do it in that spirit, and we do it to try to please Krishna, then very shortly we'll be in the spiritual world. And everything will be very blissful. So I'll stop there. Thank you. Any questions or comments? Jai Shri Panchakata Ki Jai, Shri Gaura Ki Jai. Yes, these are pastime stories, and to try to make them relevant to our lives, especially pastimes about living in a rural setting, and about some goddess of fortune who doesn't have any money, any paper money at least. There's a little bit, we have to try to relate it to our existence. What does it mean that Srimati Radharani is the goddess of fortune? Just like I mentioned, that previously if you watch Indian movies, they're all about relationships. Has anyone ever seen an Indian movie like the Sita's Wedding? Anyone see? Or Nimai of Nadia? Because now that we don't recommend to watch Indian movies because they're just, everyone has a gun and a knife. But in the old movies, you can see like in the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, for the Western mind it's very, very slow because people are actually talking to each other. They're not trying to kill each other, which is rather unusual for a movie. And there's even a relationship between the husband and wife, which is really unusual. The husband and wife even talk to each other. And they express emotions and morality and all kinds of things that people are just don't believe in anymore. Because previously people actually had a civilization where they cared about each other. They weren't thinking, well, what can I do to exploit this person? Nowadays, the present model is whoever you meet, try to figure out what you can get from them. But in the Vedic culture, it was whoever you meet, how can I utilize my duty to serve you? There was actually a service attitude, and therefore there was not such a big distance between Krishna consciousness and the way the general society was running. It wasn't a big leap to go from the way the society, the culture of the society to the culture of spiritual life. They were very close to each other. And therefore people didn't think it was very unusual to hear these stories. And they dressed up, they had their plays, for instance, about Krishna. And there wasn't, people with guns and knives killing each other on the play. And still they appreciate it. Because it was all about affection, love, how to live a good life, how to treat people nicely, how to take care of all living entities. And ultimately it was about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, how he was the friend of everyone. And everyone should become his friend too. Okay, thank you very much. Grantaraj srimad-bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande.
Some rumors, but I was wondering if you're here. imamo 3. Jedna na
Samo da je prejemaš.
da je upotrebljamo.
Nisi, ono si sam spremlja, nije obrisano. Ona imena nisu obrisana, ti odnio sam pravi.
Vse vejo, vse imam uno, ne zapisujem, vse vejo, da je moja. Jaz sem sam skladal prej,
Wie Frauen machen ja diesen normalen Wanderweg, aber Männer können sich hinlegen. Wirklich lustig. Und immer die linke Schulter, zum Beispiel zwischen dem Bauch, und wenn du meditierst, immer linke Schulter tätigst. Also nicht so rum, immer linke Schulter. Ja, also zum Beispiel immer so. Also ich mache jetzt so, dann sagst du es wie Bauch. Das ist praktisch. So Schritt an der Hare-Krishna-Stelle. Das ist ja genau. Ja, du machst doch bei Frauen. Du kannst es online machen. Du kannst auch hier, du musst fragen, du musst einen Blick in deine Sprache. Ja, das ist wichtig. Das ist alles Nein, so ist es nicht. Du musst fragen. Weil jeder denkt, du weißt es.
Ja, ich weiß es nicht.
Ja, genau.
Es ist nicht viel, weil ich samo pokljuka vreka, ali se prebrava. Bravo, pogledaj da mogo še. Nisi kadel pa 2-4 kruha. Evo, pogledaj da mogo. Šeštima. Dobro, super. Jaka.
I changed because I want to finish the windows. Because the sound was horrible. I made it peace. I made 2 pairs. I don't know. She told me that it was Zajednično,
E onda vede u to.
Ja, aber sie wollen nicht darüber sprechen.
Diversi